Good morning, crew. Um, Gosh, I had come out here and started talking. Had taken 2 takes to run into this part where I've got nothing to say, and I'm like, well, what am I recording for? Um, well, it sucks to think you have nothing to say, doesn't it? You're here, not here. Well, anyway, yeah, the the death of Irina Zarutska and what happened to her, that had really slowed me down. I'm just pushing to stay the least bit active in life. You know, it's as though I've been real unmotivated, or not that. I don't know what the word is. Melancholy? I just, you know, haven't felt like doing much, and I can't say that I get nothing done, but, someone brought to my attention that perhaps I'm just not, you know, just letting myself be enough. Just be in this state and just, whatever it is. I, uh, I intend to figure it out and, you know, overcome all of this. Um, I decided while I was out, I should take us to this fairly nice lake. It's, hang on, did you get to see it? Not wanting to show too much of my surroundings, I guess. Uh, yeah. I was just sitting here with my thoughts and just itching to shoot a video still. And I'm like, I can do this. This should be no trouble. But so the killing of Irina Zarutska had really slowed me down. And I I was just surprised by the killing of Charlie Kirk. Um, it's it's not like, how do I put this? I don't want to idolize Charlie Kirk beyond what he was, but I just don't know. You know, you've got one side saying prayers for him and blessing him, and that's really good. And then you've got this whole other side saying he has said this and he has said that. And, I just, now you've got a lot of reasonable ground in the white well-being community. You know, we acknowledge he wasn't entirely like white positive. He had, you know, he had some cut marks on his tally or something. Like, I just can't say much about him because I don't know much about him. I had never looked into his work, but I knew it's what he represented that they were after. And, you know, with a prodding from the community, he was willing to address anti-whiteism as anti-whiteism, including that of Irina Zarutska. He had addressed that it was anti-white, and that was the purpose of her killing. And, there were a lot of psychos celebrating anti-whites. Obviously, this is a very common demographic. They have a common look. Um, common talking points, and I just, perhaps it was a bit of a rude awakening, a wake-up call, to see, I mean, fuck what Charlie Kirk has said. I haven't said the most reasonable shit in the world, I haven't, I mean, maybe I've done better in life as I went, but, I mean, if what Charlie Kirk has said was so offensive, then they would really want me dead, and that's true about you too. Those of us who are doing our research or taking our time to care about the greater good of the white race. Um, you know, we know that for some reason I lost my thought. It should come back to me, I figure. Oh yeah, that they would really want us killed. We all know that they would really want us dead. Especially me, for what I've had to say in life. I've said some disgusting ass shit. Like, I've said plenty I'd be embarrassed for. But, I just know him as another man with a fairly good heart. Like, I feel like he's probably one of the more honest, or one of the more down-to-earth content creators and voices out there. But I just don't know his works. I just know what he represented, and that's being represented by the support he's been shown, the love he's been shown since his passing. And I fuck with it. I feel like it is disgusting to see a man just sitting in a conference at a university, casually giving you his points and getting shot in the neck, who presumably was going in a very white positive direction, like we didn't have to worry about him sounding very extreme or edgy. Like, especially from what I've seen and heard, like, he's at his anti-white talking points. I don't remember them. He's, kind of thrown us under the bus for non-whites and the Jews, but there's what he represented was clearly white positive, because that's what's under attack, just what is pure true to being white, and to know, like, we're being killed and raped, we're being raped and killed all the time, and that, they've torn down a symbol, or, like, really they've increased his support, I imagine, but, and he's got the same birth year as me, so, like, he's the same age as me, pretty much, and they killed him because he was a voice, he was out there, people knew of him, and they knew that he was, even if they didn't have the concept anti-whiteism, because he was getting in the way of anti-whiteism. And, it's all been really blackpilling for me. And I hate to use that term to describe a state I'm in or have recently been in. Like, I hate to have to admit to a blackpilling, or whatever the proper term would be. Perhaps I'm still processing what's going on with me. I just, just want to be here, in the way too. Perhaps just a wrench. To paraphrase Murdoch, kind of, not to advertise. I'm having a lot of trouble. There's not really the consistency I want in what I do, perhaps, but it's not just missing that, but all the extra elbow grease I used to put into life. It's like I'm watching a self die. I regret some of the things I've lost. Possessions I'll never replace. Never get back. People. I've lost people. I used to, like, get up and be very musical. I used to, like, write music and lyrics, and I was always doing martial arts and always energetic, and I have trouble seeing and determining what it is I do anymore. lost a lot of good art I've made, so I deal with the regret every day. Sort of don't like to think of as any part of my life as regret, but uh, there's just I can't drive very far with what I've got right now. I don't know how many of you saw me saying goodbye to my last car, but like the last bit of footage I've got of it, partly that was me saying goodbye to it, and like these awesome fossils I've had in there. Fucking, I thought the police had taken one and rendered the others useless or unconfirmable or something. I just thought it would mock me that I still had them. I just need to cut straight to the point. I didn't want. I felt they would weigh on me emotionally because I had lost this one. And so I have this one out of this world fossil, and there were these others, and I let them go with my car because I thought they would mock me that I didn't have them, but I didn't even have them in my car all of them like I thought. The one that was missing had been left at home, or home, you know. I still must get out of there. So it's pretty nice to be out of there now, talking to y'all from here. So having her look out at the lake with me. Where was I? Oh yeah. I just felt it would remind me of that one having been taken from me, never to be seen again, and I would see it again. But I wouldn't see those again because I let them go with the car. Hang on. Make sure I actually did get some of this in the shot. And that was a good car. That was, I messed it up by letting it run out of gas for the last time. And the thing that really screwed it over was me, the way I stopped just because I didn't want to miss my turn. Like, I basically drove it into the ground. Like, not literally, but, metaphorically. I drove it into the ground, and I've replaced it with this one that I can take to points A and B, as long as A and B aren't very far apart. Like, I couldn't go like states away with this and be assured of it not running down on me and being rendered useless. And I've done my share of traveling and musicianing and arting, and I just like it's like I've burned up all my means to enjoy life. Well, that's very personal. But yeah, I can't figure out what the hell happened to this painting I did when I was probably around 19 or gosh, I didn't even write the year down on it. I kind of knew not to leave it with my parents, or was it that I left it with my parents and that just we can't find it anywhere at their place? And it was really good. but I think I've lost so much, like, cool clothes and art to them. Like, I, the signs of life I have are not really my own works at my place. I've got that poster where I put together a bunch of trading cards I had, and some pages from a D&D book put up, uh, a horseshoe, that skateboard with my side daggers you probably saw, or some of you probably had. Um, and like these are things that help my mind to be somewhere other than the confines of my means, and, not seeing my own creations and not, or not seeing myself create as much as I used to. Like, I had started on this one and I had it covered up like nobody's gonna see it till it's finished. Um, and gosh, I'm off to such a good start, but I uh, I haven't touched it in, like, this is a more recent work, but I uh, I don't know why I won't just put more paint on it. So I'm off to a good start. Um, but it's also uncovered so people can see what I've started now. And, like, I think I had left it uncovered most for myself, but, like, I had really intended nobody see it till it's finished. Um, I think I'm just rambling at this point, or hugging the mic. I don't know. I didn't really want to get into all my personal problems, but I have to come to terms with not living far from where my parents live for a long time, and I had learned to distrust my hometowns. Of course, anywhere, even if it is kind of near to here, not too far a drive away, anywhere is better than where I stay now. But you know, just a lot bothers me every day. You know, the way my parents have done me, don't want to get into that really, but they fucked me over. Um, and they'll they didn't admit it back then, and they won't now. Uh, but I'm also, like, trying not to resent them in life. My dad's, like, so old, and you know, um, Tree Godfather, you know, he gave me a heads up what's ahead. You know, he said that when your dad is gone, like, there are these points where you have to just take it in. It's just you, like, you're the adult in the world now, like, things are all up to you, and it's, you miss him, you wish you could still call him, or that he wishes he could still call his dad, he told me, and that, I need to make the most of his remaining year. And I do, like, for some reason, I, I keep having dreams where, like, I'll be in this really bad fight with him, no matter how long it's been since either one of us have, like, let's see, no matter how long it's been since there was much trouble between us, like, no matter how little the dream reflects the types of disagreements we had been having in real life, or like the worst it's gotten, the worse it's gotten, the longer ago it probably was, you know, or for the most part there are exceptions, but probably more than I'm giving credit for, you know. I learned my way around them, not the other way around. My parents, that is. You know, learned how not to trigger them. And, you know, I'm trying to make the most of the relationship I have left with them, you know. It's been here all this time, and, like, yeah. I did actually have a dream where instead of fighting at the end, I was reminiscing with my dad, saying, "Remember that time with," and then referring to this part in the dream where, like, there's this long storyline with us, like, you know, there was, uh, my dreams get so crazy, but, yeah, they'll go this way that where he's just like the big enemy in the storyline or something. Like, I had a friend tell me he had that too, dreams of fighting with his dad, and we both, you know, had lived with dads who were fairly old fashioned, you know, not just like, well, let's see, how do I put this? We knew their ways weren't sticking around without us. Like, me and a friend I had before, we're not still friends, but I had been his friend a long time. This guy I'm talking about, you know, the guy who also had dreams of fighting with his dad. Our dad's ways weren't sticking around without us. Like the way a kid gets disciplined, you know, the attitudes that get taken when you step out of line, like we, you know, there was aggression to our raisings. And so I kind of think of it as maybe residue from like those times of our dad's aggression directed at us, and often vice versa, like, you know, to where it goes to an extreme in the dream, like you're in an actual fight. uh, but the back to the point of how their ways are dying with them, you know. If not for us, if we don't carry on, you know, what was traditional and what was old fashioned about them, you know, and I tried to tell him what was white about them, you know, like our biospirit is under attack, and I know our biospirit's under attack, and I can't really share it with my family and friends the way I can the online community. Except I do have one friend, like, he does get curious and say he'll look into what we're doing, and I appreciate that. Whatever of his research he's done on my community, or what he's taken the time to watch or listen to, like, I appreciate that. But you, yeah, you never will hear things from them like I heard in the shade tree there, right? But yeah, I really took Tree Godfather's advice to heart to, cherish my dad being here. I'm trying to wrap up all the me stuff so I can go back to talking about the white race, but I probably think I have less time than I have. This is a new phone. We'll see how long it records, perhaps. Anyway, yeah, I've been playing chess with my dad, and like we used to play this board game all the time, Pente. Now, I got so good at Pente, there was no beating me for him at Pente. But this chess stuff, damn, is it hard to play him in chess? I mean, if you could see the games, you'd know what I'm talking about. I do not have the winning streak in chess. So it's something I'm having to learn, and the gears in his head get going too. Like, gosh, we love it, and I'll I'll probably get to play with him today. I was planning to go over there today to my parents. Well, I still am, but you know, it I just I've been watching the days go by. It feels like more of an observer than a participant. I mean, or I don't know how much time gets taken up by me just thinking, but I haven't been as well as I want to be. I just feel like something's happening to my health. Something's happening to my youth. Um, and like I'm no older than Charlie Kirk. Uh, I I should still have this burning, just generating so much activity and you know coming up with things and creating them. And I I've had this worry for myself, like I'm dying a disempowering death. But I feel like it helps me to look at it more as something I'm coming out of, not going into. Because I feel like if I just keep pushing, you know, if I keep, I got to thinking for a second. I'll hold it. I feel like if I just, make myself still do things daily, I should come back to a sense of normality or something. Something happened to that sense of normality, that taking for granted of, just being me and being the shit and, like, it can't just be that I'm getting old. Things are wrong, I had, I'm at a point where, like, I feel I've lost so much in life, and I have. And I've lost such a valuable person, and it's such a sad story that I don't really want to get into it. But, you know, it was as though me and her could have had everything. But as I read on a headstone yesterday, something that's loved is never lost. And the person, the person whose headstone was had been very loved. Like, you know, it said at the top, you know, to not think of him as gone, his journey's only begun. Well, it was very nice. I was at a cemetery looking for my grandma from my dad's side, but I'll have to be shown where her grave is again. Uh, there's a lot of my blood in some of this soil. It's really neat. I'd have to ask my sister from my dad's side about it. But, yeah, she took me to her grave one day, and it was, you know, my dad wants to go next time we're close to there when we remember. Can't remember how I got on the subject. Oh, yeah. My dad. Yeah, there's one person among my dead in particular who really sticks out to me. And, I don't think of her as gone, that's for sure. But, like, you know, I've downgraded the type of car I drive. I've become lazy with how I look, you know. I think usually I'd have cut my hair by now. I'd have had my place cleaned better. Something's been up with me. And this isn't the first time. I just didn't want to do shit and just found myself not getting done the things I wanted to. Like, instead, you know, fighting for my mind, you know, all the anti-whiteism out there and residue from that, you know, the ways you get treated in life, it doesn't always just go away. I have to deal with how I know everybody can get out here. Like, I've seen it all over, and I've fought it. And, well, they can't take that away from me. They can't take shit away from me. I mean, I think I've just rambled this whole video. I don't know if it'll go up. But, Much in the same way I try to stay a participant in life, I try to stay a participant in the white well-being activism, and, you know, it's like there's a blockage or something. There's just more to life than what it's become. Uh, yeah. Something's got to change. Think, I think I'll end the video soon. Sorry if you had to stare at the side of my head most of this time. Gosh, I look freaking crazy. Yeah. But, just hang in there with me. I look forward to joining you all. I'm trying to see what I've left out or what I skipped over getting on a tangent, and it's just does not compute. It's kind of nice out here. It's a cool morning. Yeah, I can still call it the morning. Well, I'll see if I feel like uploading this here in a while when I watch. I keep wanting to fish out here, but I never bring my pole. Maybe I'll do that soon. Another challenge to my, sense of health is the living on disability thing. I live on disability, and I would like to go get myself some work to feel more useful with, and have more. But I just, it's like, after the last few years of this stuff, I've been living on disability for the last few years, and it kind of becomes what one knows. And if I step out into the world and get a full-time job, I lose it. And it's really crumbs to look forward to. I really don't think it's healthy not to have a job. or for too long not to. I just needed a while to live life, get a break from that shit. The hamster wheel, the man, didn't get me free though. I long for work too. But I want it to be meaningful work, and so, knowing what I'll do from here about that, that's certainly a challenge. And I don't even want to half-ass it by trying to get part-time work. Then I've got a job just for the sake of having one. And I don't know, I could have been more, man. If you think about it, my dad was really into electronics and engineering, and he had started a TV shop by the time he was 18, or he might have been still in school, like 16 or 17, I don't know, he did work jobs while he was in school. Hang on. I'm trying to remember his story a little. On the TV. Yeah. Well, nobody else is going to tell the story, so I might as well. He had stolen a crystal from the science lab in 3rd grade, went in at night, took the outside, the hinges were on the outside of the fire escape, and he took them off, went in, and, well, that's what he took. He might have also, taken a switch or something, but I think the crystal might have been the only thing he took, and he made a radio with it. He said he stretched some copper wire between these 2 tree limbs up in this tree he'd go up into with his crystal radio, listen to the radio on it. That's pretty cool. He was telling that story to me and one of my nephews, my youngest one, and said that he wished he hadn't taken the crystal. I told him, no, you don't. Because from then on, he was taking things apart and putting them back together, and gosh, he can fix all kinds of things. He can do all kinds of things electronically, and he really undermines his expertise. Like what he can do is nothing special, but to the rest of us, he has, to the rest of us in the family, he has, sci-fi levels of electronic expertise and, scientific expert, he loves physics, and, he had went to college, he finished college, and he used to suggest to me, he wouldn't insist, he would just kind of give me a little push in the direction, telling me that I could be learning to do what he can do, he had a good job, yeah. He acquired a lot for himself. I I feel like there was a gap in the market in the market he was getting into, just what he was most interested in doing, that was the thing, got him everywhere, I long to get somewhere. And so what I'm going to do with the rest of my life on this earth, that's a challenge to me. I don't know. It, it's been an awful long time in life. I feel like for me to not know what it is I do anymore. I used to know. I used to do everything, it seems like. Well, this has been a long video shoot. I guess I'll get off of here while I'm, because I always watch these before uploading them unless I'm just so sure I shot a good enough one. But I don't think there's a single one I've uploaded in like maybe 4 without watching them first, but I'd watch them afterward. I just think I've watched all my content. Pretty sure of that. Well, I appreciate your company. And, yeah. I appreciate every one of you in the community. You've all made life more interesting, more worth living, really. I still share purpose with all of you. And, it's a very beautiful thing we have. I don't really care for how slow I've been going this one. Yeah, hopefully I've done alright. I'll talk to y'all soon. I love you.